Welcome all of you. This is our fifth lecture in the series of online lectures. We are learning Economics Standard 12. Welcome to my class. We are learning Economics Standard 12 of Maharashtra Board, SSC Board, HEC Board. We are learning lesson number 2, that is Utility Analysis. See, in my earlier lecture we have covered Introduction, Features and Types of Utility from the chapter number 2, Utility Analysis, which were given on page number 8 to 10. That is introduction, features of utility and types of utility that we have already covered. See, this was one of the examples, like the commodity should have multiple uses. See, the example which we had taken of coal. Coal had multiple uses. One of the uses is that coal is also used in railway engines. See, coal, railways runs on coals. Okay, see, the black fumes which you must have seen, that of carbon, are of the coal itself. Okay, okay, today we are going to start learn with concepts of utility. See, concepts of utility. So what is this? See, concepts means assumptions. What is assumptions? See, assumptions means considerations, suppositions or hypothetications. The law of economics are altogether different than the law of science. See, law of science depends on the facts whose truth has been proved or which have existence. Okay, so they have specific reasons, specific base. According to that, they have worked, or they have different. They work according to the reasons. But law of economics is not like that. It is totally different. The biggest difference between law of science and economics is that economics laws are based on the human being. Those are depending upon the behavior of the human being. Their all experience are dependent on the behavior of the human being, the nature of the human being, the human character, human tendency, right, etc. So human being, what is the basic characteristics of human being? Human beings keeps on changing. They always changes. They never remain same. That's why the laws of economics always differs. That's why they have to assume some things. Okay, that's why they depends on some assumptions. Okay, and assumptions makes the law to understand easily. Okay, so every law, see for example, now we are going to learn law of diminishing power, law of diminishing utility. See, every law has some assumptions as well as some exceptions. Okay, so we are going to learn law of diminishing utility today. Okay, first of all, what is utility? See, utility is the want satisfying power of the commodity. There are different types of utilities or commodities available in the economy, and each and every commodity has power to satisfy the human wants in some or the other ways. That is called as utility. Okay, so what we are going to see today? See, first of all, counting of the utility violates one of the basic feature of the utility itself. What was the basic feature of utility? That the measurement of utility is hypothetical. Means that this is that utility is an abstract concept and cardinal or numerical measurement of utility is not possible. Then how we are going to count the utility? How the utility is measured? See, utility is measured in terms of some psychological measures, some psychological units, that is called as utils. Okay, that is called as utils. Let's see what is meant by utils. Okay, for that we'll learn concepts of utility, relationship between total utility and marginal utility, law of diminishing marginal utility, and we see introduction, statement of the law and assumptions of the law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, see, concepts of utility, total utility, marginal utility, then relationship between total utility and marginal utility, and we'll see, we'll start law of diminishing marginal utility, and in that we'll see introduction, statement of the law and assumptions. Okay, but first of all, what is meant by util? I just told you. utility is measured, right? Why? So that it would be easy to understand some concepts. Okay, though it is contradictory to the one of the assumptions, one of the features of utility. But then also, according to the modern scientist, the utility can be measured. Okay, how? In terms of utils. See, a hypothetical unit of measurement of utility, a hypothetical unit of measurement of utility is called as of the commodity by economists to present hypothetical information about utility and consumer demand theory. The util measurement unit was developed as a convenient way to illustrate and discuss concepts such as total utility, marginal utility, and the law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay. However, because utility is not a measurable characteristic, the util does represent an actual unit of measurement such as inches or pounds. It does not represent. Okay. The util, also frequently used in plural or as utils also. Okay, is the common textbook or classroom unit used to discuss the utility derived from consumption. In this way, a concrete discussion of a concept such as the law of diminishing marginal utility is possible by displaying actual utility values. Of course, even though these actual values are really hypothetical again, see the numbers can serve to drive home, to emphasize, to clearly illustrate the understanding concepts. That's why this concept of utility, counting the utility in numbers has been arisen. Okay, let's start with the first concept, that is concept of utility. Okay, following are the two main concepts of utility. First is total utility. Okay, see, total utility refers to an aggregate of utility derived by the consumer from all units of a commodity consumed. It is an aggregate of utilities from all successive units of commodity consumed. What does this mean? See, total utility is the total satisfaction obtained from the consumption of all the given units of a commodity. Okay, it is the utility derived by a consumer by consuming all units of a commodity at a time. Okay, in a single time. See, so total utility is the sum total of utility derived from the consumption of all the units of a commodity. And what is marginal utility? See, marginal utility refers to the additional utility derived by a consumer from an additional unit of a commodity consumed. In other words, in the addition, it is the addition made by the last unit of a commodity consumed. Okay, so what is marginal utility according to Professor Bolding? Marginal utility is the change in the total utility due to the consumption of an additional unit of a commodity. See, increasing the total utility by consuming one additional unit of a commodity is called as marginal utility. Okay, an addition to total utility. When consumer consumes an extra unit of the commodity is called as marginal utility. We will see by examples, with reference to the examples. Okay, see, this is the data given in the book. Relationship between total utility and marginal utility. First of all, we'll look at this table, this schedule, and we'll try to understand. See, what is total utility? For example, if you are consuming one, if you are thirsty, see, in the book always the example of glass glass of water is given. See, if you are thirsty, then what you are thriving for? You are just craving for one glass of water. Okay, see, if you consume one glass of water, how much of utility, how much of total utility you will get? You will get the total utility of 10. Okay, this utility is measured in numbers. That consider that you are getting 10 numbers of utility. So before that you had zero utility, right? Before consuming of that glass of water you had zero utility. So This total utility you get now in your first attempt, right? In your first attempt of drinking the glass, you got the utility of 10 units. So what was your earlier utility? 0 units. So what is the marginal utility? 10. Why 10? This 10 minus earlier 0 is equal to 10. So margin means additional utility. How much of additional utility you got from the previous utility? That is 10, because previous utility what was 0. So marginal utility means an additional utility. Okay, additional to the total utility. See, this was the total utility and this was the additional utility. Additional utility by consuming an extra unit. Okay, then suppose you drank one more glass of water. Okay, so totally you drank 2 glasses of water. After drinking the second glass of water, you got the utility, total utility, that is 18. Okay, so how much is the marginal utility? Now total utility is 10. Earlier utility was, so now total utility is 18. Earlier utility was 10. So how much is the marginal utility? It is 8. Okay, so what is the difference? See, after drinking the first glass of water, you got the utility 10, and now you are saying that you have got the utility 18. So how much is the difference of utility that you got? That is difference of utility, that is marginal utility, which is brought by an additional unit. Okay, by consuming an additional unit, how much of extra utility you got? That is 8 units. Okay, now after drinking the third glass of water, you are saying that you got the utility 24 utils. 24 utils of utility you got. Now, how much was the earlier utility? It was 18 utils. Okay, because it is calculated in utils. Your earlier utility after drinking the second glass was 18, and now after drinking the third glass, your utility is 24. So how much is the change? See, the change between this utility, current utility and last utility is 6 units. Okay, so 6 is the marginal utility. Okay, so marginal utility is what? Is the change in the total utility. How much is the change in the total utility? See, marginal utility is the change in the total utility due to the consumption of an additional unit of a commodity. Which is the commodity over here? It is glass of water. Okay, similarly, after drinking fourth glass of water, you are telling that you are getting the total utility at 28 utils. Okay, so what is the marginal utility? 28 minus earlier utility, that is 28 minus 24. So 4 units or 4 utils is your marginal utility. Okay, because it is in increase in the total utility. How much is the increase in the total utility? 4. Increase in the total utility by consuming one additional unit of a commodity. Okay, now you drank fifth glass of water. Now after drinking fifth glass of water, you are telling that you got the utility, total utility 30 utils. Okay, 30 utils. Now what is your marginal utility? See, your earlier utility was 28 utils and current utility is 30 utils. So your marginal utility is 2 utils. Okay, 2 numbers, because an addition to the total utility when consumer consumes an extra unit of the water in this case. So what is the marginal utility in this case? 2. Now you drink sixth glass of water. After drinking sixth glass of water, you are saying that your total utility is same. See, it remains same, that is 30. See, after drinking in extra water, if your utility, here we consider utility is the satisfaction. After drinking the sixth glass of water, you are saying that you have reached to the ultimate satisfaction. Okay, you have reached to the satisfaction level. So 30 means what? Your earlier level of satisfaction was 100% satisfaction. So after drinking this extra glass, you are saying that your earlier satisfaction is remaining the same. Okay, you are not getting an extra satisfaction or an extra utility after drinking this sixth glass of water. See, there is no difference in the utility which you achieved after drinking an extra glass of water. It means there was no marginal increase. Okay, there was no marginal increase in the utility. It means marginal utility is zero in this case. Okay, when we got this marginal utility as zero, when we drank the extra glass of water after reaching to the 100% of level. And why when we got the 100% level of satisfaction after drinking the fifth glass of water. Okay, why? Because after drinking the sixth glass of water, we are not getting any extra utility or any extra satisfaction after drinking that water. Now, if even after that, even after getting 100% satisfied, you drank one more glass of water, again after that, if you drink the seventh glass of water, okay, what will happen? You will start on complaining about that water. Okay, you will start to get harmful about that extra water, and your utility will be 28. Means your utility is decreasing, right? The your utility of drinking that water, see, we always see drinking water is good for the health, but after drinking extra glass of water, the utility which or satisfaction which you get from that glass of water start to get decrease. Okay, see, it became 28. Means it has become harmful for your body now. Okay, now what is the difference between this total utility and earlier total utility? It is -2 because it has been decreased. Okay, so in this case the marginal utility is -2. So okay, so in this way, see, this marginal utility derived from various units of commodity. See, these are various units of commodity and its total utility are interrelated. This can easily be followed from the hypothetical example given in table number 2.1. See, table 2.1 explains the relationship between the total utility and marginal utility. Okay, see, this table and this data is very important for learning this concept. Okay, see, as we increase the number of glasses of water, consumption of number of glasses of water, see, we start to get the utility and our utility is increasing, but at the diminishing level. Means what? See, earlier utility was 10, later on it got decreased, it came 8, then still decreasing, then still decreasing, and after reaching a level when the utility we got the utility 100%, okay, the total utility became 0. Okay, when we got the 100% utility satisfaction, then marginal utility became 0. See, the marginal utility kept on decreasing. Okay, and even after that, if we consume more glass of water, then marginal utility became negative. Okay, this is called as diminishing marginal utility, that is DMU, which we are going to learn. See, this data which is shown over here is produced in the graph. Okay, see, table 2.1 explains the relationship between total utility and marginal utility. Okay, total utility and marginal utility. Now let's see how it is shown on the graph. See, on the graph, on the x-axis there are units of commodity shown, commodity x which has been consumed are shown, and on the y-axis total and marginal utility, curves for the total and marginal utility are shown. See, x-axis measures the units of commodity consumed, while y-axis indicates the figures of the total and marginal utility. Figures means amounts, values. Okay. On the basis of table 2.1, total utility and marginal utility curves, that is TU and MU curves, can be derived with the following diagram. Now let's see how to draw this. See, on x-axis, what is shown? Units of commodity are shown. How much are the units of commodity? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are the units of commodity. Okay. See, units of commodity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 means here we can consider units of glass of water. Okay. Units of glass of water are shown on the x-axis. And what is shown on the y-axis? See, what is shown on the y-axis? the figures of total and marginal utility. Okay, we'll learn one by one. See, first of all, we'll take different colors. Okay, see, total utility. When the unit of one glass was consumed, we got the total utility as 10. Okay, 10. So we can plot this 10 against one glass of water. Okay, here it is 10. Okay, next, after drinking second glass of water, we got the total utility as 18. Okay, here it is 18. Total glass of water utility we got 18. Then after drinking third glass of water, we got total utility as 24. After drinking third glass of water, total utility we derived was 24. Okay, then after drinking fourth glass of water, we got the total utility as 28. 28 after drinking the fourth glass of water. Okay, then after drinking the fifth glass of water, we got the utility 30. Okay, 30. Then after drinking the sixth, even after reaching the satisfaction 100% satisfaction level, okay, we still drank one more glass of water. Okay, that is the sixth glass of water, and after drinking the sixth glass of water, the utility remains same. That is called as point of satiety. Satiety means 100% satisfaction level. And when we got the 100% satisfaction level, when we had drunk sixth glass of water. Okay, now even after that we continued drinking water. That is when we drank seventh glass of water, the total utility got declined. Decline means decrease. It came down. Okay, to 28. Okay, 28 when we drank seventh glass of water. Okay, now if we plot these points, with respect to units of consumption, we plot total utility, then we can draw a curve. Okay, then we can draw a curve. See, this is a draw in yellow. Okay, if we draw the curve, then we'll find that curve. How is the tendency of this curve? See, this curve is upward curve from left to right, right? This is upward curve, upward from left to right, and it is positive curve. See, there are three characteristics of this curve. Okay, which are the three characteristics of this curve? It is an upward curve, right? How it is upward curve? See, it is with the increasing numbers, it is increasing. It is an upward curve which is from left, it is increasing from left to right, and it is a positive curve because it is increasing with the positive numbers. Okay, so who this curve, that is total utility curve. See, TU curve, which I have shown in the red color. TU curve has some these characteristics. Now, if we plot marginal utility, now if let's start plotting marginal utility. Okay, if we plot marginal utility, okay, against the units of consumption, now let's see what happens. Okay, now consider this units of consumption and marginal utility only. Now if we consume one glass of water, we get marginal utility 10, because at the first time, and we hadn't drank any glass of water, we were craving for the glass of water, we were lots of thirsty. So for the first time, the marginal utility and the total utility were same, because before that there was no any utility, because we hadn't drank any glass of water. So at the first time the marginal utility is same, but when we drank the second glass of water, marginal utility became 8. Okay, marginal utility became 8. See, this is 8. Then when we drank the third glass of water, the marginal utility became 6. It is 6. Okay, when we drank the third glass of water. Then when we drank the fourth glass of water, marginal utility became 4. When we drank fourth glass of water, marginal utility became 4. Okay. Then when we drank the fifth glass of water, marginal utility became 30. Okay. When we drank the fifth glass of water, marginal utility became 2. When we drank the fifth glass of water, marginal utility became 2. Here it is 2. Okay. Then when we drank the sixth glass of water, marginal utility became 0. See, this is an important thing. When we drank the sixth glass of water, marginal utility became 0 because this is axis line 0. But still, if we continue drinking water, if we drank seventh glass of water, the marginal utility became -2. So this is the -2 when we drank seventh glass of water. When we drank seventh glass of water, we came down. Okay, to -2. This is -2. Okay, this is -2. We reach to -2. This point is -2. Okay, what does this mean? See, this is the, and if we draw a line, a curve, a graph, then how it is shown? It is downward sloping. Okay, the curve or the graph of marginal utility is downward sloping. How it is downward sloping? From left to right, right? It is downward sloping from left to right. Okay, and it is negative. Why negative? See, the values are diminishing, reducing. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Okay, so marginal curve is how it is? It is negative. Okay, it is negative. See, these are the basic differences between these two curves. Okay, so see here in this example, both the curves are drawn on the same graph paper. Okay, so those are looking like this. Still, I will show you how to draw the. See, what is diminishing marginal utility? See, suppose if somebody, a lady, a girl is desiring to have pizza. Okay, she is dreaming to have the pizza. She is in the office and she wants to have the pizza after eating, after going to home. After reaching to home, she wants to have the pizza. Okay, now what she thinks, she reaches to the hotel. Okay, and a plate full of pizza is kept in front of her. Okay, and she starts to have the pizza. What is her first thought? This is the most delicious thing I have ever tasted. Why? Because before that she was hungry, she was desiring, she was craving for pizza. So her utility for pizza before that moment was 0. Okay, and after having the first bite of the pizza, of the first piece, what she thought, she became very happy. Okay, and she gave, suppose, 10 points to it. Okay, for that utility what she got. Okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, she consumes one more piece of pizza. Okay, then she consumes one more piece. Already she has consumed one piece of pizza. Now she consumes second piece of pizza. Okay, then again her total utility increases, but the marginal utility decreases. Why? Because she thinks, now whatever feeling she had for the first bite of pizza got declined. Okay, that's why marginal utility got declined, but the total utility is increasing because whatever amount of pizza is consumed by her is increasing, the increasing whatever is there in her stomach. Okay, so total utility is increasing, but the marginal utility is decreasing. See, as she goes on eating more and more pieces of pizza, what happens? See, the pizza example, it is a law that states that the marginal utility from consuming additional units of good also eventually declines. Okay, so if it is good, she likes it very much, but even if she eating more and more, each unit, with consuming each additional unit, how good though it is, its utility eventually declines. Okay, see, after having the fourth pizza, if she reaches the 100% satisfaction, okay, after having the fourth pizza, if she reaches 100% satisfaction, then This is after, with the consumption of the fifth pizza, she reaches to the point of satiety. Okay, that is the level of satisfaction. See, satisfaction level is achieved by having fifth pizza. Okay, 100% satisfaction level. See, this is the law of marginal utility. See, as you go on having more and more pieces of pizza, there comes a stage that you reaches to the 100% satisfaction and the utility starts to decline. Okay, then the utility of the pizza starts to decline. Okay, see, law of diminishing marginal utility is as more units are consumed, marginal utility goes on declining. Okay, marginal utility means difference between the earlier total utility. Okay, so additional satisfaction falls down. Okay, with having more and more pieces of pizza, additional satisfaction falls down. See, and what you tend to say, that you tend to say that you are enough with it. Okay, you are enough with whatever you had. Now you don't want the pizza or whatever has been offered at all, even if it is for free to you. Okay, even if it is gifted, then you are so full, okay, with your stomach or your feelings, your cravings, that you avoid it. Okay, so you are enough with it. This is the diminishing marginal utility. See, if we water the plant more than its capacity, more than its requirement, then what happens? See, the water comes down because it is diminishing the satisfaction level of that plant. See, how small is the plant? How small the vase? See, if it is watered more, then it will a time will come that the water, though how good it will harm the flower or it will harm the plant. Okay, this is called as diminishing marginal utility. See, now we'll plot against this. Okay, see, for unit 1, see, here we will plot only total utility. Okay, so for the total unit of 1, we will have the total utility as 10. Okay, here it is 1. For unit 1, we have the total utility as 10. Okay, for unit 2, we have the total utility as 18. Okay, this is 18. Okay, that's why I have taken a graph paper. For unit 3, we will have the total utility as 24. Unit 3, we have the total utility as 24. With the consumption of fourth glass of water, we will have the total utility as 28. With the fourth glass of water, we will have the total utility of 28 rupees. With the consumption of fifth glass of water, we will have the total utility as 30. Okay, this is 30. Okay, between this. With the consumption of fifth glass of water, we will get the total utility as 30. Okay. Then, after getting 100% satisfaction, even we drink the sixth glass of water, okay, then we will come to know that utility is not increasing. It is remaining constant. See, it is remaining constant after drinking an extra glass of water. This means we have reached to the point of satiety, that is point of satisfaction. Okay, we have reached the point of satisfaction after drinking an extra glass of water. Even if that we consume the seventh glass of water, then we come to know that we haven't added this seventh glass of water, that additional unit of glass of water, haven't added any utility to me, any satisfaction to me. In spite that it has harmed us. Okay, it has made me injurious of it. Okay, so this seventh glass of water, instead of adding any utility, it declines its utility. Okay, because total utility became 28, so it declined utility. So if we plot a line against the drawn point, okay, if we plot a line, then it will be a upward slope, and after reaching the point of satiety, it will come down. This is called total utility curve of total utility. Okay, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and what it is shown, commodities consumed. Okay, commodities. Similarly, if we plot units of commodity against marginal utility, if you plot, then for the first unit of x, the marginal utility is 10. For the first unit of x, the marginal utility is 10. Here it is 4, 8, 12, 16, like that. Okay. For the first glass of water, the marginal utility is 10. Okay. Then for the second glass of water, the marginal utility is 8. Marginal utility is 8. For the third glass of water, marginal utility is 6. For the fourth glass of water, marginal utility is 4. For the fifth glass of water, marginal utility is 2. See, against the numbers written on the y-axis. For the sixth glass of water, we come to know that there is no utility for the glass of water, extra glass of water which we drank. So marginal utility is 0. Okay, marginal utility means there is no increase in the utility against the utility which we got from drinking the last glass of water. That is, marginal utility is 0 at when we drank the sixth glass of water. Why? When we drank the fifth glass of water, we got the utility 30. And when we drank the sixth glass of water, the utility remains the same. Okay, so there is no change, there is no difference. So difference is 0 by consuming extra unit of commodity. Okay, so it is 0. Then even if we drank the seventh glass of water, the utility declines. Okay, declines. And how much is the decline from the previous one? It is decline in 2 numbers, that is -2. So when we drank the seventh glass of water, our utility becomes -2. Okay, because it is down to the y-axis. So it is 2, -2. Okay, so this is, if you plot line against this, against the points which we have plotted, we will get a downward slope. Okay, and this is what the extra, due to the extra we drank. This is called as marginal utility curve. Okay, this is marginal utility curve. Okay, so what is shown on the book? Both the curves are plotted on a single graph paper. Okay, that's why it looks like this. This curve of total utility and this curve of marginal utility. Both the curves are shown plotted on the same paper in the book. That's why those looks like this. Okay, that's why I taught you separately. Now see how to read it. See, figure 2.7 shows total utility curve slopes upward. Total utility curve slopes upward, whereas marginal utility curve slopes downwards. Okay, marginal utility curve shows 0 and negative level. See, it shows 0 level also and negative level also. It shows 0 and negative levels of marginal utility, whereas total utility curve shows maximum and constant utility. Okay, maximum, it has reached to maximum and constant utility. Okay, now after reaching this 0 marginal utility, if we still drank one more glass of water, then what happens? It starts to deutilize. Okay, so this phase is called as disutility. Okay, this is disutility, means it is harmful for the body. Okay, see, total utility and marginal utility. How to read this? How to read this curve? How to read this graph, this table? See, and how you have to explain for the such kind of question? First of all, you have to give the introduction. Then you have to dictate whatever you have drawn on x-axis and y-axis, and then you have to explain like this. Total utility and marginal utility of the very first of x consumed unit are same. See, because you were thirsty, So at the first, with the first glass, drinking of the first sip of the first glass of water, your total utility and your marginal utility were the same. Okay, total utility and marginal utility of the very first unit of X consumed are the same. Then, as the consumer consumes further units of X, okay, as he consumes further units of X, the total utility increases at a diminishing rate. Okay, what is meant by diminishing rate? Because after reaching a certain point, it got decreasing. It increases but a diminishing rate. Okay, it starts to diminish slowly. And marginal utility goes on diminishing. But the marginal utility was diminishing only. Okay, it was continuous diminishing only. And this was increasing but a diminishing rate. Okay, so what does this mean? With the increase in total utility, this is what increase. With the increase in total utility, decrease in marginal utility. Okay, this was the first statement. At a particular stage, okay, at a particular stage, total utility reaches to its maximum. Okay, it remains maximum and remains constant, whereas marginal utility becomes zero. See, at this level, when it remains constant, when the total utility remains constant, marginal utility reached zero. Okay, this is zero axis. This is called a point of satiety. This is called as point of satiety, means 100% satisfaction. When you were 100% satisfied, then the marginal utility formed by consuming that product was zero. That is, means when your total utility was highest at the peak, the marginal utility was zero. Okay. After this point, any additional unit consumed further, okay, even you drink 7th glass of water, it starts in results in decline in the total utility. It starts to decline the total utility, while marginal utility becomes negative. Okay, when the total utility starts to decline, marginal utility still goes on declining and it goes to the negative level. Okay, when after reaching at the point of satiety, if you still consume more commodity, okay, see, means when the total utility starts on decline, okay, after reaching the point of satiety, then marginal utility also starts on going to negative value. Okay, negative means below the x-axis. So with the decreasing the total utility, marginal utility goes to negative. After reaching the point of satiety, which is the point of satiety when you got the 100% satisfaction. After reaching the point of satiety, a rational consumer should stop his consumption, since the maximum limit of satisfaction is reached and there is no any addition to total utility by any further increase in the stock of a commodity. What does this mean? After reaching the point of satiety, means 100% satisfaction, a rational consumer, who is a rational consumer? A normal person. Okay, a normal person should stop his consumption. He should stop his more consumption limit, and since the maximum limit of the satisfaction is reached, there is no usefulness, there is no addition to the utility, there is no meaning, which is there is no satisfaction is given by the additional unit of water consuming. Okay, so the further increase in the stock of a commodity has no utility. Okay, so consumption beyond the point of satiety transforms this satisfaction into dissatisfaction. Okay, see, more consumption of more glass of water beyond the point of satiety transforms this satisfaction. This is the satisfaction. Marginal satisfaction is turns into dissatisfaction. That is disutility. Okay. In other words, a consumer starts experiencing all ill effects of the consumption. Ill effects means its bad effects, right? Its reactions after having the more after consuming more units beyond the limit of maximum satisfaction. Or sometimes it may happen that you get so much of tired of it, so much of bored of it, that you think that I will never consume this whatever thing again. Okay, this is called as dissatisfaction, or then you start to get the ill effects of it. See, what is meant by point of satiety? Point of satiety is defined as the point where marginal utility of any commodity is zero. There is no any utility from the consuming that extra unit. That is, marginal utility becomes zero when when there is a point of satiety. And who is rational consumer? A consumer who makes his choices after considering all the other alternative goods and services available in the market is called as rational consumer. Means a real consumer, a natural consumer. See, what natural consumer thinks to get the maximum satisfaction from the goods, alternative goods and services available in the market. Okay, if a consumer keeps on drinking same even after reaching the point of satiety, if he keeps on drinking the same, then he is not called as a rational consumer. Okay, he will be called as an abnormal consumer. Okay, and this rule is not applicable to the abnormal consumer. It is applicable to the rational consumer only. Okay, who is not rational consumer? For example, a drunkard or a smoker. Even if actually there is no usefulness in drinking the alcohol or smoking, but he, after reaching a satisfaction level, he does not quit it. He keeps on consuming it again, more and more. So this example, this kind of people are the exception for this rule. Okay, so because those are not the rational consumers. Okay, though they don't think good and bad. Okay, these kind of people don't think about good and bad, because more and more consumption of alcohol and smoking and whatever drugs and what, they are always injurious and harmful to their bodies, because but they are not the rational consumer. Okay, this theory is based on the rational consumers only. See, now we'll start with the law of diminishing marginal utility. This law was first proposed by Professor Gaussen, but was discussed in detail by Professor Alfred Marshall. Okay, in his book Principles of Economics, published in 1890, very famous book. Every economy student or every commerce student must know about this. The law of diminishing marginal utility is universal in character. Universal means applicable to all the things. Okay, law of diminishing marginal utility. It not only to the glass of water, right? Because in book always the example of glass of water is given. Okay, so not only to the glass of water, not only to the piece of pizza, not only for the ice creams. Okay, not only for the chocolates. Not only for the apples. This law of diminishing marginal utility is universally applicable. It is universal in character. It is based on the common consumer behavior. Okay, it understands the common consumer behavior. That utility derived diminishes with the reduction in the intensity of want. Okay, if the intensity of want decreases, then the utility what you got from the consumption of the unit got diminishes, that decreases. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn in detail. According to Professor Alfred Marshall, other things remains constant. Okay, because assuming other thing remains constant means ceteris paribus is assume some things, and the additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase in his stock of a thing later starts on diminishing with every increase in the stock that he already has. Means when you had the satisfaction, total satisfaction starting with 10, 18, 24, 30, then it remains 30. Okay, then it starts to get 28, it starts to get diminishing with every stock of that you already has. Okay, so what was the marginal utility first time? 10, then it became 8, then it became 6, like that. So it, as your wants gets decreased, see, with the first sip of water, your want was 100%. Your thirst was 100%. But when you drank, when you finish first glass of water, your that satisfaction, your that much of thirst was not remained as it is. Okay, some of your thirst was quenched. That with the second glass of your water, you had the same, you didn't have the same thirst as you had for the first glass of water. So your intensity for having that glass of water got on decreasing. So with the decreasing intensity, what you got? Decreasing marginal utility. Okay, with a given increase in his stock of thing, what he increased? Second, then third. With the given increase in his stock of a thing, diminishes. What diminishes? See, additional benefit diminishes with every increase in the stock of that he already had. Okay, it gets on diminishing. In other words, marginal utility that any consumer derives from successive units of a particular commodity goes on diminishing as his or her total consumption of that commodity increases. See, as total consumption keeps on increasing. Okay, 10, 18, 24, 30, right? As total consumption keeps on increasing, we can consider that total quantity of water that is in your stomach, as it keeps on increasing. Okay, what happens with the successive units means, see, if you drank one glass of water, immediately you drank second glass of water, on that you drank third glass of water, continuously, consecutively. If you consume successive units of particular commodity, then the marginal utility, that the ultimate benefit, goes on diminishing. What diminishes? Marginal utility, that is the ultimate benefit or satisfaction, goes on diminishing as his or her total consumption of that commodity increases. As it increases, this goes on. As this increases, this goes on diminishing. Marginality goes on diminishing. In short, more of a thing you have, the less you want to have more of it. Means what? The more of more of anything you have. Suppose you have lots of. Suppose when you started the first day of your school or first day of your college, okay, and you didn't have any pencil, but later you purchased 5 pencils, then 10 pencils, then 15 pencils, then 20 pencils, and one day came that you had 100 pencils. Okay, so the more of a thing you have, what you will have, you will less have the willingness to have more of it. Okay, you will reach one point that you will not have to have more, you will not have the desire to have more of it. So the more of a thing you have, you will have the less want to have more of it. Okay, see, there are some assumptions for the law of diminishing marginal utility. There are 8 assumptions. First is rationality, second is cardinal measurement, third is homogeneity, fourth is continuity, fifth reasonability, then constancy, divisibility, and single mode. Let's see what are they. The first assumption. Okay, see, what we are learning, diminishing marginal utility. Okay, and what are the assumptions for it? What are the assumptions? See, what diminishing marginal utility says, with the increase in the total utility, marginal utility decreases. Okay, this is the marginal utility gets decreases. This is the assumption. This is the law of diminishing marginal utility. But what is the assumption for it? See, the first assumption is rationality. Who is rational? The normal person. Okay. See, consumer is assumed to be rational. The consumer who consumes the commodity should be rational. It means that his behavior is normal and he tries to maximize his satisfaction. His behavior is normal and he wants to become satisfied after consuming a specific unit of a commodity. So he has some idea that after consuming this much of units of commodity, I will be satisfied. So he tries to maximize his satisfaction at a specific level. But The person who is not rational, who is not normal, for example, an addict, okay, he is not normal. He has no any idea that when he will get the maximum satisfaction, that when he will get, he hasn't any idea that after consuming how much of alcohol or how much of liquor he will get happy. No, he don't have any idea because he's not a normal person. He's not a rational person. So after, there is no any concept that after reaching a specific unit I will get the 100% satisfaction, and after that I will stop drinking the water, I will stop drinking the alcohol. This is not applicable for the addicted person. Okay, so because the addicted person keeps on drinking more and more alcohol. Okay, so he is not a rational person. So for the rational people, this law of diminishing and marginal utility is not applicable. So this is the assumption. Okay, this consumer should be rational. Okay, because otherwise for this kind of people this marginal utility curve will not come down. Okay, because they don't never reach to the satisfaction level. For this kind of people satisfaction will not reach. Okay, so their margin curve of marginal utility will not come down. So for irrational people this marginal utility, diminishing marginal utility is not applicable. So it is first assumption that it is applicable only for the rational people or for the normal people. When they tries to maximize their satisfaction and after specific level they stop it. Okay. Second assumption. See, the consumer is assumed to be normal. That is, his behavior should be normal. Then only he will try to achieve maximum satisfaction by consuming commodity. Otherwise, his marginal utility curve or marginal utility would never reduce. Utility of the commodity will not diminish for him. For whom? For the irrational person. Second consumption is cardinal measurement. Okay. See, the law assumes that utility can be cardinally or numerically measured. Utility should be cardinally or numerically measured. Hence, mathematical operations are easily possible to know and compare the utility derived from each unit of a commodity. See, as per the one of the features of utility, what was the feature? That it is an abstract concept. It cannot be quantified. It cannot be measured in terms of numbers. But here again is a exception for it, that utility should be measured in numbers so that it would be easily possible to know and compare the utility derived from each unit of a commodity. Okay, as per the modern scientists, it should be measured in terms of utils. Okay, measured in terms of utils. What is cardinal measurement? The exponent of cardinal utility analysis regard utility to be cardinal concept and hypothetically hold that utility is measurable and quantifiable entity. See, it should be measured in terms of numbers. Okay, utility should be measured. Next assumption is homogeneity. What is meant by homogeneity? See, when you are learning diminishing marginal utility, which example did we take? That was of glass of water, right? So glass of water, I took only the example of glass of water. I didn't say that after having first glass of water I had a glass of milk, and after having second glass of milk I had third glass of juice. No, it is not applicable for this. It is applicable only for the homogeneity. Whatever study you are learning with the marginal utility, whatever units you are consuming, the units must be homogeneity. Okay, means same nature, same shape, same color, same taste, same identical in size. Okay, then only you can study it properly. Okay, all units of a commodity consumed are exactly homogeneous or identical in size, like this, identical in shape, identical in taste, identical in color. Okay, see, like this. For example, if you drink the glass of lassi first, okay, then you will be satisfied after consuming the one glass of lassi only. Okay, because its shape because its taste is different. And after that, if you drank one glass of water, then you won't have the desire to drink third glass of juice. Okay, so it is not applicable for the heterogeneous products. Okay, for the heterogeneous products like fruits, dry fruits, glass of milk, glass of juice, okay, it is not applicable. It is applicable only for the homogeneous products. Okay, this graph, that graph, or whatever the tendency, human behavior, consumer behavior we are learning, can be learnt only if the commodity which are concerned are homogeneous. Okay, means of same color, size, shape, taste, etc. Next concept is continuity. See, all units of commodity are consumed in quick succession without any lapse of time. What does this mean? If you are learning diminishing marginal utility, whatever you are consuming, may it be the glass of water, maybe the pieces of pizza, okay, whatever you are consuming, whatever commodity you are consuming, that may be in the quick succession, means consecutively, one after the other, without any break, without any lapse of time. Okay, then only this study can be done. See, for example, this person is continuously eating the popcorn when he is sitting in the front of television. Okay, see, there should not be a time gap. There should not be time gap. If time gap is there, for example, today he drank one glass of water, then tomorrow he drank second glass of water, or today he drank one glass of water and after some time he drank the second glass of water, then this rule is not applicable. Okay, it should be in quick succession. Succession means one after the other. Okay, one after the other, immediately happening things. So this diminishing marginal utility can be studied properly if all units of commodity are consumed one after the another without any gap of time gap. Okay, then only it is applicable. If you give the gap, then the curve will not be drawn properly. The marginal utility cannot be studied and analyzed properly. Second, reasonability. See, all the units of a commodity consumed are reasonable size. What is meant by reasonable size? Proper size. Okay, that all the units of a commodity consumed should be a proper size. For example, if a glass of water, I'm giving the example of glass of water. If the glass of water is too big, okay, if the glass of water is too big, and if we say he drank the one glass of water, then one glass of water will satisfy his need of 8 glass of water. Okay, so this is not applicable. Okay, the size of the commodity should be reasonable size, proper size. They are neither too big nor too small. For example, if we take the example of cake, if you are learning the consumer behavior, okay, after consuming the cake, see, if the cake is too big or if the cake is too small, okay, if the cake is too big, what will happen? The consumer will become satisfied after having a single piece of, or a little piece of it, okay, or maximum having one entire cake. Okay, but if he consumes an entire cake, would it be possible that he will consume one more cake? No. So, if the size is too big, studying consumer behavior is not possible. If the size of the cake is too small, then also it is not possible. Okay. So, the size of the commodities must be reasonable. Okay. Means proper in size. Next concept is constancy. See, all the related factors like income, taste, habits, choices, likes, dislikes of a consumer should remain constant. Marginal utility of money is also assumed to be constant. For example, see, when this diminishing marginal utility is applicable, when the taste, habits, choices of a person are, see, this lady always likes to drink the cup of tea. If she leaves drinking cup of tea, then learning diminution of marginal utility is not possible. So what it assumes that a person's taste habits always remain same. Okay. So marginal utility of money is also assumed to be constant. Means utility of money is considered to be remaining constant. If a person was liking some things, some dishes, but he is not liking these dishes now, okay, his likes has been changed, Okay, then it is not, this is against the assumption. So see, if it is not liking these dishes, then it is not applicable with learning for diminished marginal utility. It is assumed that his likes remains same. See, he was before he didn't like to go to gym and earn the money. Means his likes and habits were different. He was lazy person, he was sleeping, his choices were different. Okay, but later on he changed. He became, he started to go to gym, he started to earn the money, so his habits, his choices change. So in this case, learning of diminished marginal utility is not useful. Okay, why? The person's choices, incomes, taste, habits must remain constant. Okay, see, she's getting happy again and again even after drinking the cup of tea again and again because it is constant. Next concept is divisibility. See, the law assumes that the commodity consumed by the consumer is divisible so that it can be acquired in small quantities. What does this mean? See, the commodity which is studied, which is the subject of these studies. What is the subject of these studies? Commodity. The commodity which has been consumed. The commodity consumed by the consumer is divisible so that it can be acquired in small quantities. Okay, the commodity should be divisible that even after consuming a single unit, 100% satisfaction should be reached, so that it should be divisible. See, for example, if you are learning about the cake, then the parts of cake can also be made. So the commodity which is the subject of this study, subject of this consideration should be divisible. Okay, it should be divided. See, if you are learning consumer behavior in terms of consuming the fish, okay, then entire fish should be divisible. Okay, so the commodity should be divisible so that it can be acquired in small quantities also. It can be acquired in small quantity means a single piece of fish, a single piece of cake. Okay, and the last assumption is single want. Single want. A given commodity can satisfy a single want of a person. The law assumes an experience of a single want which is completely satiable. Satiable means which will give the satisfaction at a given point of time. See, it should not have multiple wants. Okay, it should not have multiple wants. What does this mean? A commodity can satisfy a single want of a person. Means at a time I should have want of only one commodity. Okay, if the study of consuming the strawberry, okay, consider that the human behavior of consuming the strawberry is done, then if he consumes strawberry naturally, direct strawberry, or if he consumes the juice of the strawberry, if he consumes the ice cream of the strawberry, if he consumes the strawberry in jelly, if he consumes strawberry in jam, there are different forms of strawberry. Okay, if the strawberry consumed in different forms, then it is not possible to study the consumer behavior. Okay, and it is not possible to analyze the diminishing marginal utility. So there should be a single want of a person. Okay, a commodity can satisfy a single want of a person. What is the single want? For example, if he wants to consume the strawberry chocolate, then with every strawberry chocolate, see, this is the strawberry chocolate, with every strawberry increase in every single unit of strawberry chocolate, the his consumer behavior is learned. Okay, so the commodity can satisfy a single want of a person. The law assumes an experience of a single want which is completely satiable. For example, after having 10 units of strawberry chocolate, he becomes 100% or completely satisfied at a given point of time. This is called as single want. With this, we have completed today's topics, and in our next lecture we will see explanation of the diagram, exceptions to the law of diminishing marginal utility, criticism of the law, relationship between marginal utility and price, and we will solve the exercise which are given on the page number 13 to 16 in our next lecture. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, study online. But see, Ganpati Chaturthi festival is coming soon. Okay, so you will keep lots of modaks in front of Ganpati. Okay, so what you will do? How much of modaks will you consume? Okay, when you will get the 100% satisfaction after consuming how much of modaks? See, this is the homework for you. See, this is an interesting homework this time. Okay, how much of after consuming how much of modaks you get 100% satisfaction, that you have to study, because on many days you are going to get modaks, right? So you will get the modaks on many days during Ganpati festival. Okay, so it is study for you. Okay, so how much of modaks do you consume? Okay, this is the study for you. Thank you.